With the partial government shutdown, Obamacare's insurance exchanges have now gone live online, and analysts say it may be harder than ever to stop the law. They say that's why Republicans have fought so hard to defund it or delay it from taking effect. Let's take this to the judge, Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, great to see you, sir.
You never give me the easy ones, Trace.
You know, that's why we give them to you, because you're the expert on these things. It's amazing to me, Judge, because you brought up a good point. You have the president coming in saying, look, this is one party or one fraction of the party from one section of the government that is delaying this whole thing and shutting down the government. Judge, that's the way it works. I mean, that's why the system is set up with equal parts of government.
That's the way the framers wanted it to work, and that's what's in the Constitution that they wrote. What people don't understand is the Constitution contemplates two parts to every law: enacting the law and then paying the bills to enforce the law. If the Congress decides to enact a law in 2010, but then discovers in 2013 it's too expensive to enforce, or we're not ready to enforce it, or the law is not what we thought it was, and so we don't want to pay for it now, Congress has every right and every opportunity in the Constitution to decide not to pay for the law. That's what the Constitution prescribes. So when the Republicans in the House of Representatives say, we know that Obamacare is already the law, we just don't want to pay for it, they are on solid, historical, constitutional ground when they do that. And when the president mocks them saying, you don't want to pay for bills you've already incurred, guess what? They haven't incurred the bills yet. So there's no bills to pay. They don't want to start paying for it, and they have every right to take that position.
So as you say, Judge, if the Republicans are re-looking at this law by looking at the funding here, if this thing does go forward and it is funded, then how difficult does it become for Republicans to actually go back after Obamacare after it's already online and now it's funded?
Very, very difficult. In fact, almost impossible, because the history of the federal government providing entitlements in this country, going back to the FDR years and a huge boost in the LBJ years, and then a little bit more with every president since LBJ, is that once entitlements start, they can't be stopped. The only way to stop them would be for the federal government to pay directly those who have received them for as long as they need them, and not to give them to anybody else. So if 1 million people sign up for Obamacare in 2013, and in 2016 a Republican president and a Republican Congress decide no more Obamacare, they probably will be on the hook for the million who have already signed up. They won't be for those in the future, but they'll have to take care of those who expected it and who were entitled to it when they signed it up. So it's far cheaper to stop it before it starts.
What about the parts of it then? What about the parts of it then, Judge? We've already delayed it. What about the various parts of it now? If they can delay the individual mandate for a year, push it back for a year, the business mandate's already been pushed back for a year, so then can they go after those? Okay, you can't defund Obamacare, you can't get rid of it, but can you go after the parts that are really annoying people, like mandating that people buy insurance?
Yes. Yes, you can. If they delay that until there is a Republican president, they can eradicate the individual mandate. But if they start the individual mandate and reimburse people for it, it'll be very difficult to stop.
Which is why they're trying so hard now to get that individual mandate pushed back. And some are saying, well, wait a minute, how can you push the businesses mandate back, saying, okay, corporations, business, you don't have to do this for one more year, but individuals, guess what? You're on the hook.
And guess what? The president has decided that some select groups don't have to do it for a year. The president doesn't have the authority to do that. So he has no ground on which to stand when he says those Republicans in the Congress are stopping this. He himself stopped it for friends of his that said, hey, Mr. President, it's too expensive. We're not ready for it now. Give us a couple of years.
Yeah. Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, great to see you. Good insight. Thank you.
Pleasure, my friend.